Ever feel like you're stuck in a world that doesn't even see you? Like you're running on this endless treadmill, sweating and gasping, just to get a nod from people who wouldn't blink if you disappeared tomorrow? You put on the mask they want. Smile here, agree there, choke down your real thoughts, all for what? A fleeting good job from strangers who don't even know your name? It's a sick game, isn't it? You're exhausting yourself, bending over backwards, all to fit into their little circus. But here's the twist. The joke's on you. The more you chase their approval, the tighter the noose gets around your neck. You're not living, you're performing, and deep down you know it's killing you. Welcome to the show, my friend. Society's a grand, twisted comedy, and you're the punchline, scrambling for validation like it's the key to your worth, when really it's the lock keeping you caged. You think you need their applause to feel alive, to matter. But let me hit you with the raw truth. Every time you beg for their acceptance, you're handing them the reins to your soul. You're letting them decide who you are, and that's weakness. That's surrender. In this video, we're ripping that mask off. We're diving into 5 brutal reasons why your need for approval is your Achilles heel, and how to burn it to the ground. Because when you stop caring what they think, that's when the real game begins. That's when you stop being a pawn and start being a player. So, let's kick this off with the first reason. Approval is a trap that keeps you small. Picture this. Society's got this nice, tidy little box for you. It's got rules scratched into the sides. Wear this, say that, don't rock the boat. And you've been trained to squeeze yourself in, to shave off the edges of who you are, just to fit. Step out of line, and they'll slap a label on you. Freak, weirdo, troublemaker. But you know what they're really scared of? You breaking free. Because the second you stop following their script, you're a wild card. You're chaos. And chaos is the one thing their neat little system can't handle. Every time you fish for a well done or a pat on the head, you're giving them power over you. You're saying, please, tell me I'm enough. And society laps it up. It feeds on your doubt, your desperation to belong. It's why you scroll through feeds, comparing yourself to filtered lives. It's why you buy junk you don't need, chasing some image they've sold you. Worst of all, it's why you bite your tongue when you've got something real to say. You're not you anymore. You're their puppet, twitching on strings you didn't even tie. Your dreams, your fire, they're just ashes piling up while you dance for their approval. When was the last time you did something purely for you? Not because it get you likes, not because it make them clap, but because it lit something up inside you. If that's a blank, you're deep in the trap. You're living their life, not yours. And let me tell you, that's not living, it's surviving. But here's the dirty little secret, that approval you're chasing, it's a mirage. It's a carrot on a stick, dangling just out of reach to keep you running. They don't want you to stop and ask, why am I even doing this? Because if you did, you'd see the whole game's rigged. I'm not telling you to torch everything and dance in the ashes, not yet anyway. But imagine this, what if you stopped caring? What if you looked at their rules, their expectations, and just laughed? The moment you do, the trap starts to crack. You realize you don't need their permission to be you. You never did. Look at the people who play it safe, who color inside the lines. Do they look alive to you, or do they look like they're just waiting for the curtain to drop? That's what the trap does. It shrinks you down until there's nothing left but a shell. The way out. Stop playing their game. Step out of the box. Let them squirm. And that slides us right into the second reason. Seeking approval kills your authenticity. You've felt it, haven't you? That moment when you've got something sharp on your tongue, something true, but you swallow it. You think, what if they don't like it? What if they turn on me? So you plaster on a grin, nod like a good little soldier, and spit out whatever keeps the peace. Every time you do that, you're carving off a piece of yourself. You're trading your voice for their comfort, your edge for their acceptance. And what do you get? A hollowed out version of you. A fake that doesn't even feel like home. The world's drowning in people pleasers, spineless shadows who'll say anything to avoid a frown. But you know who it doesn't have enough of? The ones who don't flinch. The ones who'll stand in the fire and speak anyway. The ones who wear their scars like badges, and don't give a damn who's offended. That's where the real power lives, not in fitting in but in standing out. The game changers, the ones who leave a mark. They didn't grovel for approval. They kicked the door down and made the world deal with them. Me? I don't lose sleep over what they think. I don't twist myself into knots to be likable. I laugh at their petty little rules, their fragile egos, their need to box everyone in, and it drives them nuts. Why? Because I'm free. They can't pin me down, can't tame me. That's my strength. And it can be yours too. All it takes is letting go. Stop sanding down your edges to fit their puzzle. Stop dimming your light so they don't squint. The second you do, you'll feel it. Freedom. The real you starts clawing its way out. And trust me, it's a hell of a sight. Who are you when the masks are off? When you're not jumping through their hoops. That's the you worth fighting for. That's the you they're terrified of. Because an authentic you doesn't bend, doesn't break, doesn't beg. And that's a threat to their whole crumbling stage. So we've ripped into the first two reasons your need for approval's dragging you down. It keeps you small, and it buries your authenticity. Stick around, because we're not done tearing this apart. The next act's coming, and it's gonna hit even harder. So we've torn into the first two reasons why your need for approval is dragging you down. It keeps you small, and buries your authenticity. But the show's not over yet. In fact, it's just getting started. Let's dive into the third reason. Approval makes you predictable, and predictability is weakness. Think about it. When you're desperate for a thumbs up from the crowd, you start playing by their rules. You become a chess piece they can move around the board. They know exactly how you'll react, what you'll say, and where you'll go because you're following their script. But me? I don't play by anyone's rules. I flip the board, scatter the pieces, and laugh while they scramble. That's power. That's freedom. And it's something you can have too, if you stop letting them predict your every move. Take a look at the people who play it safe. They're the ones who never leave their comfort zones, never challenge the status quo. They're predictable, and that's why they never truly win. They might get a few pats on the back, but they're not the ones who change the game. Now think about the ones who don't give a damn. The innovators, the rebels, the ones who dare to be different. They're the ones who leave a mark. They're the ones who make history. And you can be one of them, if you stop letting their approval be your compass. When you're predictable, you're controllable. You're a dog on a leash, trotting along wherever they tug. But when you cut that leash, when you stop caring if they approve of your next step, you become a wild card. You become dangerous. And that's when the game shifts in your favor. So ask yourself, are you tired of being their pet? Because the door's wide open. You just have to walk through it. Now let's slide into the fourth reason. Seeking approval blinds you to your own potential. You spend so much time staring at their scorecard, waiting for them to tell you you're good enough, that you forget to look in the mirror. You forget that the only approval that matters is your own. You're like a lion pacing in a cage, growling at the bars, when all you have to do is roar and break free. Every time you wait for someone to tell you you're good enough, you're handing them the keys to your potential. You're letting them decide how far you can go. But the truth is, they don't know your limits. Only you do. So why are you letting them set the bar? Break it. Set your own. And watch how high you can fly when you're not tethered to their expectations. I don't wait for anyone to tell me I'm enough. I know it. I feel it. And that's why I can stand in the middle of the storm and laugh. Because my power doesn't come from them. It comes from me. It's raw. It's real. And it's unstoppable. You have that too, buried under all those layers of doubt and second guessing. So dig it out. Stop looking for their nod and start nodding it yourself. That's where the magic happens. We've covered how approval makes you predictable and blinds you to your potential. But there's one more piece to this puzzle, and it's the ugliest truth of all. Stick around, because the final act is about to drop, and it's going to shake you to your core. You think it's over? That burning their script is the end. Oh no, my friend. It's just the spark. The real chaos starts when you step off their stage and into the unknown. See, the moment you ditch their approval, you're not just free, you're dangerous. Dangerous because you're no longer playing by their rules. Dangerous because you're a wildfire they can't control, and they'll hate you for it. Oh, they'll scream, they'll claw, they'll try to drag you back into their neat little box. But here's the secret, they can't. Not unless you let them. So what happens next? You rewrite the game. You stop asking for permission and start carving your own path. It's messy, it's ugly, it's glorious. You'll stumble, you'll bleed, you'll doubt yourself 1,000 times over. But every scar, every fall, that's proof you're alive. That's the ink in your story, not theirs. And the best part, you don't need their applause to keep going. You'll find your own rhythm, your own roar, echoing in the void they tried to fill with their noise. They'll call you crazy, they'll call you selfish, they'll say you're lost. Let them. Their words are just ashes blowing in the wind, meaningless against the fire you've lit. Because once you stop needing their approval, you stop needing their definitions. You're not crazy, you're awake. You're not selfish, you're whole. You're not lost, you're found. And that terrifies them more than anything. A soul unchained is their worst nightmare. So keep going. Tear down their walls, smash their mirrors, dance in the wreckage. Build something new, something that's yours. Not for them, not for their likes or their nods, but for you. Because the truth is, the world doesn't need another puppet. It needs a spark. It needs you. Raw, real, and unapologetic. Take that stage you burned and turn it into a throne. Rule your life, not theirs. And when they come running begging you to come back, to fit in, to be normal again, smile, that crooked, wild Joker smile. Then turn your back and keep walking. Because you're not here to please them anymore. You're here to live.